Hi, in this video I will show you how you can replace the iPhone 5 power flex cable or the power button. Now after a while this power button may not work. When you push it, nothing clicks and it doesn't turn the phone on or off. This is the replacement part that you can buy online. It's fairly cheap. Now first unscrew the two screws at the bottom there with a pentalobe screws. Then we will use a suction cup to pull up the screen with a blade on the corner right there. There is a small gap where you can put in a blade or a pry tool and you can pry up the glass. Now I will insert a spatula and pry off the glass. I will twist it a little, allowing the screen to come off the frame. Pull it back, but do not pass the 90 degrees angle. To take out these 3 screws on the metal plate. Then we can remove this metal plate. So flip it up and take it out. Underneath is the 3 flex cable. So remove the 3 flex cable. Basically the LCD, the touch screen and the camera. So separate the glass. After that, eject the SIM tray. Now we will need to remove the following screw to dismantle the logic board. There are quite a few up here. First, remove these screws to remove the metal plate cover. Sometimes it can stick to that antenna cable. And then we remove the flex cable on the battery. Now we can pull up the battery by using this tab here. If the battery will not come off, you will need to use the pry tool and pry it off on the other side of the phone. Now disconnect the charging port flex cable. And that's the one right there. So we just pull it back. And then remove these 2 cable here. Next we will remove the screws. Now lift this antenna up. There is another screw in the middle, so you need to take out that middle screw. And then remove these 2 screws at the top here and take out the metal cover. There are 2 screws at the top there as well, so we need to take out the 2 screws. That is the antenna cable. So I'm just going to take out this metal plate now. Now we'll disconnect the power flex cable. And using the flathead screwdriver, we'll take out these screws. There's another one at the top we need to take out, and another one right next to the camera. Now we turn over and we'll push out the flashlight. So using a prying tool, we can push it out. So it's come off right there. Now we can take out the logic board. Now at the bottom there is another antenna cable we need to take out. So just pull it out. And that just come off right there. And then turn the board over. There's another cable or antenna cable underneath. So we just need to disconnect that as well. So I just use my fingernail and take out that antenna. And that will allow you to disconnect the logic board. Next we take another screw down here right next to the camera, and this will allow you to remove that metal plate. On the other side we take out the 3 screws that's holding down the vibrator. And then remove the vibrator. On the side, we'll remove the screws that holding down the volume key. There are 3 screws. And at the top here, take out the pad on the power button and remove the screws right next to the power button. So now we'll take out this cables, this antenna. You don't have to, but I find it's make the job a lot easier if you take it out. So I will take it out, the antenna, and later you can put it back. Now we can begin to take out the power flex cable. So it doesn't matter if you break it because it's already damaged. We're going to replace it with a new one. So just simply pull it out. This part here can be fiddling as there are a lot of small tiny parts to it. So just take your time and work your way through it. So I'm just going to take some of the button out just in case I drop it. So we don't want to lose any of this. So just take it out and put it to the side. Just remember the orientation so that later you put back in the same way. So here is the flex cables. It's still holding down to the pin next to the power button, so we need to take it out of the pin. So I just moved it down a little bit, and then that will allow you to have enough space to push it out right there. And when we put it back in, we need to do it in the same direction, back in reverse order. So just take out the power button. Now we need to transfer the 3 metal bracket over to the new flex cable. Basically they are the power, the volume, and the silent bracket. So here, just simply pull out. And we'll put it onto the new flex cable. There are holes that you need to line up so that you put it in the right way. To line up the hole, the small hole right there on the corner. Then do the same with the silent key and the volume key. So just pull it out. Then do the same with the volume bracket. I'm just going to pull out the sticker right here. So they have holes on the corner right there, so you just need to line up the hole, make sure they all line up. That way that you know you put it in the right position. And then just fold it over to make it easy. So there it is, that is what it looks like. Now make sure this silent switch is going down to the down position. So push it down. Over here, now the old flex cables still got a little piece of plastic left in this, so you need to push it out. So we need to push that one out so that it come off. Otherwise you will not be able to put in the new one. So there, we need to take that one out. There's one more piece left right there. So we need to remove that. Make sure that metal piece line up correctly in the right way. And then here we can put in the new silent switch right there. So that metal piece there, make sure you put it in the right way. And that's it. So make sure that silent key with the red color sits at the top. Sometimes if you don't take notice, you might put it in the wrong way. And now we can put it back in. Make sure the silent bracket sits in the right way. So now we put the screw back in. So the silent bracket should sit on top of the volume bracket. Now at this stage you can test out the buttons. Now we can peel out the plastic. And now we can put in the power button. So put this one around the pin. Just to push it down so that it sticks down to the case. Make sure they all line up. Now put the screw back on to secure the bracket, and then test out the power button to make sure it is clicking. We put the antenna back on. So there's a small hole there for that piece of metal, so just push it down. And I'll put the vibrator back on. There are 3 screws you need to put back. Next we put that metal bracket back. Now it's time to put the logic board back in. So connect the antenna at the top. And then make sure you lift up the power flex cable. If you forget, sometimes you can put the board back on and the power flex cable sit underneath, like so. As you can see, so make sure you go around like that and then lift up the power flex cable connector. So lift it up like that and then move the board around. Now make sure the board aligns with all the screw holes before you put the screw back on. Make sure everything aligns correctly. You can push the flashlight into the hole as well. Turn over and check it out. So adjust the board so that it sits correctly. Now we put the middle screw back on. I find it's easy if you put the middle screw back on so then the board sits in the right place. And then we can connect the power flex cable at the top here. And now we can put the 2 screws at the top back on. And I'll put this metal piece over the flashlight. And there are 2 screws that you need to put back on to secure it. And we put in the power padding. Another screw at the top here. Make sure it is nice and tight. Then we'll push this connector back on. There is an antenna down there. You need to reconnect to the logic board. So make sure it is connected properly. If it's not connected properly, you might get a weak signal. And now we connect the charging port flex cable. So don't use any force, just take your time and push it back in. Okay, now it's time to put the battery back in. So make sure the battery is put on and reconnect the flex cable. And we will now put the metal plate cover over. So screw down with the 3 screws. And reconnect the screen flex cables. So the LCD, the touch screen, and the camera. And we'll put the metal plate bracket over. There are 3 screws you need to use to secure it. And now it's time to put the screen back in. And lastly, there are 2 screws at the bottom you need to put back in. And now it's time to test the power button. And that's it. Also, make sure you test the volume key as well to make sure it works as well. It's part of the same flex cable. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.